So while overanalyzing Nia's Memiest line is just kind of depressing and ultimately tragic in the end, overanalyzing Rock's Memiest line is surprisingly wholesome, because who does not love a burb in Xenoblade 2? You better love a burb in Xenoblade 2. If you don't love Finch, you should just unsubscribe right now. And if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, congratulations, you now love Finch, so you should subscribe. So thanks. Anyway, this will require spoilers for Chapter 4 of Xenoblade 2. I'm going to say the end of the chapter. It isn't actually the end of the chapter, but just saying the end of the chapter is easier than, like, specifying a point in the chapter without spoiling the chapter. So, yeah. I think we can agree that Rock's Memiest line is, "I am Rock, always have been, always will be." So, what about that line makes it surprisingly wholesome? Well, there's the whole thing where, alright, Vandam died, Rock came back, doesn't remember him at all, but still has a personality clearly influenced by him, and while he doesn't remember his previous driver, definitely reminds Rex and the rest of the party of him in different ways, and wants to learn more about him, actively being part of keeping his legacy alive. So there's all that stuff, and then there's Rex's apprehension and feeling like he's not worthy of inheriting Rock after Vandam and all the stuff he did for him, and there's all that, which is kind of a big deal. It's very downplayed after the one part in Chapter 4 where he's supposed to unlock Rock, but for that part, obviously that's a thing, and he still feels nervous about being put in charge of the Garfont mercenaries even after that, so that is sort of a big deal. He feels like he's incapable of living up to the man Vandam was, and I mean, he's partially true. I don't think he's going to be that tall ever, but complaining you're not going to be as tall as the tallest guy is like me complaining that I don't have exactly as many subscribers as copies of Xenoblade 2 have been sold. Like, it's just not gonna happen, and it's kind of stupid to expect yourself to do that. Also, I own 2 copies of Xenoblade 2, and I'm only subscribed to myself from one alt, so that wouldn't work anyway. So, that's not part of it, but Rex feeling like he's not gonna live up to Vandam, and that he's dishonoring his memory in some way by using Rock, while Rock is also being taught about his previous driver, that's the big deal. Because I'm Rock, always have been, always will be, isn't necessarily just a declaration of, oh yeah, it's Rock, that sure is a reliable blade that has some storied past with the previous driver. It's also, yes, I'm Rock, I'm back, and yes, I'm Rock, I am the same blade I was before, regardless of whether or not Vandam is my driver anymore. He may be gone, but I'm going to still be the same person, the same guiding wind, the same mentor that he was to you, even if I don't remember him. And also, you, Rex, are capable of using me as the exact same blade with the exact same power and potential as Vandam was. You can grieve his loss, you can feel bad about that, but don't worry about me. I am always going to be me, and I will be even long after you are gone, helping to keep Vandam's memory alive in at least my own little way. Obviously, this is a one-off line that is basically just a cool battle phrase thing to get you pumped up about beating up the bad guys yet again and all that stuff, but I choose to interpret it the wholesome way because Rex and Vandam's interactions were extremely wholesome. Rock doesn't really do anything after Chapter 4, but a couple lines are pretty cool, and there are some later side quests related to the Mercs that are just generally wholesome and stuff, and we needed more of this kind of interaction, I think, and I'm going to take what I can get. So if I have to insert my elaborate headcanon into one very memey line to get that, I'm going to do it. And until next time, this is Luxin signing off. Yippee.